He said, don't consider them as a human being, but consider them as a pet or an animal. And then I thought, like, what's wrong with this person? I went to the Butler Cafe Swallowtail. So all the workers here pretend that they are butler, and I'm Ojo-sama. I'm a young lady there who is actually living there. I mean, my parents are living there, and I just came back to the home. That's the concept. It was much more fun than I expected. I went there with other people. In this cafe, you're not allowed to hold your bag or coat by yourself. Everything is carried by the butlers, and then even you are not allowed to go to the toilet by yourself. But that was really some experience. It was really, really, really fun. So when I entered the door, they checked the body temperature, and then I go in. They carry my bag and coat. They lead us to the users table. 6 people can sit, but we are only 3 people. I was feeling so much pressure. And I started to say something weird like, we came here to arrange those marriage to stop the war against France. And then we were ill-mannered. There, you're not allowed to pour tea by yourself. I did that. The butler didn't say much to me. And then the butler was changed one time. They were saying like the owner, the master, it could be my father, right? Called, I guess in the modern language, it is called shift. Yeah, so it was super fun. It was a place with great food and great atmosphere. I was thinking like, should I go there once more? It is not allowed to take any picture, and I was tortured by that. As a human being living in 2022, whenever I see some nice food, I need to take picture, but I wasn't allowed to take a picture. Tea were great, dessert were great, everything was super fun there. I would call it more amusement park than a restaurant. And then while I was lining up during those 3.5 hours, I booked another ticket for the Butler Cafe. So there was a cancelled slot for 10:30, so that's the opening hours, and for one person. And then I booked that, and then I was thinking, should I go there? My friend said, why not? That's a good opportunity. Yeah, I was keep thinking. I felt so much pressure at the first visit, and then I thought like, we need revolution, set a republic, and forget about all those Butler and Ojo-sama thing. And then I wanted to say that. So I visited there for the second time. So I wrote down some words like republic or revolution in Japanese. Yeah, and then that was opening hours, 10 a.m. in the morning. So when I entered cafe, and it was empty restaurant, and all the servers, they were all lining up greeting me. I was thinking about that. What happens if I go to the opening hours? There are only few people entering there at that point, and I thought maybe they are just resting or staying somewhere else. I didn't expect that everyone would just stand there to greet me. There were like about 10 people lining up. Very politely they said, "Okaeri nasaimase." I didn't expect that. When I entered there, I showed them with my mom and father. I usually talk in French, so I don't speak Japanese that well. I showed that because I wanted to say that, but I knew I wasn't brave enough. Then I entered there. The butler this time, since there were no one and then I was alone, he was keep talking to me. He asked so many things like, what will you do until your flight and so on. And then he also asked me what kind of food I like. I mean, I don't care about food that much. So I answered, if I don't lie, I don't care. And he was shocked. And he said, I'm a wild young lady. ワイルドなお嬢様みたいに。And then he also said, if you're in that level, you can do that. That kind of compliment. I cannot endure that. I mean, but it was super fun. It was super fun. And then I was nervous all the time. And he said, don't consider them as a human being, but consider them as a pet or animal. And then I thought, like, what's wrong with this person? What is in his head? Is it okay? Is there a concept of human rights? That was a little bit painful. It was shocking, but it was also super fun. So I'm not allowed to go to the toilet by myself. The butler on my table, he asked first if I want to use the toilet, and then yeah, I said yes. I am not allowed to return by myself as well, so I waited there, and then someone else noticed me and then carried me to my place. And I said the prepared word. Yeah, he said something like, please return to home. I said, so if I leave, I will join the revolution. Then I will set the republic. So I don't know whether I can come back. And I wrote down those words and I read it with troubles. I was laughing too much because it was so embarrassing. At the same time, so much fun. And I said, I leave Tokyo. He was also laughing. He said, please return and tell us the result of the revolution. When I leave, I said the same thing, but this time a lot worse. I was reading the word on my paper, but I almost failed, so I just showed the word to them, and they didn't even care and said, we will be always here, so please come back. Then I left the restaurant. That was super fun. It was really, really fun. もう一回行きたい。本当に楽しかった。本当に楽しかったんです。